Okay, y'all, it's another cooking video. We decided to make what's called, some people call them fisherman's eggs. I guess some people call it fisherman's breakfast. I don't cook it very often because it's usually made with a can of sardines. If you like sardines, then you'll probably like, if you like eggs and sardines, then you'll probably like it. My wife doesn't really like sardines, so we're going to use mackerel, which is what we normally use to make salmon patties, and because mackerel is a little cheaper than salmon, a can of salmon, so we always do our salmon patties with the mackerel. You can make this with any canned seafood or any canned fish, pretty much. So what I have is some eggs, just some regular large eggs. I got, this is probably not quite half an onion, it's half of a medium-sized onion. It's like a fourth of one actually, and this is the same amount of chopped up bell peppers of different colors. This is like left, this is all, these two things are left over from the last time I cooked, so I'm trying to use them up. We preheat the oven at 350 because you're going to cook, after we cook up the vegetables first, we're going to cook the fish and the eggs in the oven. But right now I got the skillet on the stove, and I'm going to just pretty much lightly saute the vegetables, and then we're going to put it, finish putting it together, and then we're going to work on this. It won't take long. This is, I like to use the cast iron, and I'm always afraid to use a cast iron on the glass stove, but I'm gonna try to get a gas stove in here at some point. When we bought the house, the glass stove came with it. I like to use gas, so I'm eventually gonna switch it out. But for now, we're gonna, we're gonna do this, and I use bacon grease. It's just bacon grease to saute all of this. You want to put some kind of oil in there. If you use sardines, you will. You get the oil, the sardines that have oil in them, like olive oil or some kind of whatever oil, then you can use the oil that's in the can. And sometimes they come in a can, and sometimes they don't have oil. They have like hot sauce or something to that effect, and you can't use that. You have to have some oil. So for this part, you have to have oil, and you want oil in the pan, in the skillet, when you put it in the oven as well, so that things don't stick to what's going on. So let me saute these real quick, and then I'll be right back with you for the next step. So the oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and lightly sauteed my vegetables. You can saute them as long as you want or as little as you. You don't even have to saute them. It's up to you. Everybody makes it different. Now I'm going to take this mackerel, which normally would be sardines, but I'm going to take this mackerel, and we're just going to put the fish in here, and then we're just going to kind of spread it around like that there. I did add, right before I took this off of this burner over there, I added just a little bit more bacon grease, just to make sure that there was plenty of that in the pan for when I put it in the oven. Everything's not going to be sticking to the bottom of it. Okay, and you know, sometimes people will bring get some like parsley or some kind of leafy vegetation to put on top of this. One, I don't have any of that kind of stuff, and two, it's not something I think about all the time when it comes to breakfast. But it's not, you can do that, some people do that, and you might as well just mix all this stuff in here pretty good. You don't have to break the fish down all the way if you don't want to. Just do whatever you think you want it to be like, and then you can just mix it in here, because what you want is you're gonna pretty much layer the bottom of this skillet, okay, and you're gonna, so that it covers the whole bottom of the skillet basically. There's no perfect way to do it. Just kind of just get it about like that right there, and that'll be good enough. And what I like to do, I got this stuff right here. You can use whatever seasoning you want. If you want to put some seasoning, you can. You don't have to. This is called Chef Paul Prudhomme Magic Seasoning Blends, and it's seafood magic. You can see what that is. We use that on almost every time we cook fish. We put some of this on there, and it's actually pretty good. If we don't use this, we'll use something like Old Bay or something. But I'm just gonna lightly sprinkle this over the top of that. All right, and we're gonna, you know what? I might just mix that in to make sure that all that seafood gets a piece of that seasoning. And then we'll spread it back out, and we'll go from there. You ever cook something a bunch of times and you do it different every time? That's pretty much the way I do a lot of things. But this is okay. So now we're ready. Now we're ready for the eggs, and basically all we're going to do is crack these eggs right on over the top of these. All right, and I'm gonna put probably about 5 eggs in here. You put as many as you want to, but because it's such a big portion of all of this, then I'm gonna put more eggs in there, and I'll probably eat them. It's good protein. Yeah, we'll put 5 in here, and we might call that good. What do y'all think? So let's now what you want to do is pop it in the oven and cook these eggs, and it'll actually warm up all that fish for you. And this is a 6-pack, so I'm just going to go ahead and put 6 in here. I mean, it seems like a lot of eggs, but we'll eat it. All right, so we're just gonna kind of leave it the way it is and let it cook. Let it cook like that. It doesn't matter if you bust the yolks or not. So I'm going to put this in the oven, I think for about maybe 15 or 20 minutes, but just watch it. And when you think your eggs are done, it's done. Sometimes this is where you put your parsley or even some spinach leaves or something like that if you want to. We're not doing that today, but this is what it looks like before it goes in the oven. So we'll put this in the oven. About like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this lid on here just to help it some. You don't have to have a lid, but I'm going to. Because with that cast iron, if I put that lid on there like that, it kind of makes it work like its own Dutch oven, which really isn't necessary if you put it in the oven, but I do it anyway. All right, we'll catch you in about 15, 20 minutes, show you what it looks like. Okay, y'all, it's been about 20 minutes or so. So it's time to take this out of here. I've looked at it, and the eggs are kind of where we want it to be. So I'm going to take it out, and I'm just going to set it on the countertop for about 4 minutes or something. And it'll probably continue to cook. So keep that in mind when you pull it out. So just be careful, because if you're using cast iron or anything, really, it's going to be hot. I figure you would know that by now. So we're just going to basically just take it out, put it down. And we'll come back in 5 minutes and show you what it looks like. Okay, y'all. It's been about 4 minutes or so. Just a few minutes, however long you feel like it might be necessary. Let's see what we got going. Look at that. We got the eggs. I'll show you what the eggs. We poke these. Our yolk. We like the yolks all the way through done. And it looks like them whites aren't done all the way, but they really are. Of course, then you got egg all in here now from some of the yolk. So everything's ready to go. And what we had was the only bread I have left in the house, because we have to go to the store, is a couple of English muffins. So they'll do for what we're trying to do tonight and for supper. And so basically just gonna scoop out a little bit, put it on the plate, and that'll be it. You can put like tartar sauce on these, or some other whatever else you would eat on fish. You can do all of that if you want to, or you don't have to put anything on. You put hot sauce on there if you want to. So just gonna scoop a little bit of this, and I don't think it's gonna stay together because it's not. So it's not supposed to stay together. It's just a loose type casserole that we've made here. So, and what we've made, this will feed about 3 or 4 people, or 5 people maybe, depending on how much anybody wants to eat, you know. But we opened up the whole can of mackerel, so I felt like we need to use it, and there you go. And that's how I make a fisherman's breakfast. And then what I'll normally do is I'll sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper on there, just to make it, top it off, you know, and then it's ready to eat. You can either make a sandwich out of that, or you can just eat the muffins with it on the side, or however you want to do it. This is the way it is. That's how I make fisherman's breakfast. I might make it different every time, but anyway, that's how I do it in a cast iron skillet in the oven. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you subscribe. If you want to leave a comment and tell me how you make it, or what kind of stuff you put in it, that'd be fine. Share it with your friends, and it's a good, healthy protein meal. We'll talk to you later.